Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, I'm proud to present an up-close and personal, in-depth look with the all-new 2015 Ford F-150 Platinum. Big shout out and thanks to AutoNation for providing us this example. For more information on their dealerships and current inventory, please feel free to check out their website provided in the description box below. As always guys, this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the F-150. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and performance data, take it on a quick test drive, and show you many of the unique aspects of both the interior as well as exterior. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. Remote start comes standard on the Platinum trim. In addition to a power-assisted running board, the Platinum also features a standard smart key entry system and pillar-mounted keypad for locking and unlocking the vehicle. Our tester is finished in white platinum, which is one of the premium color options. Inside, you'll find the standard high-grade black leather upholstery with gray highlights, specifically trimmed for the Platinum, not to mention genuine brushed aluminum and wood trim throughout. In order to start, just make sure you have the key fob within the interior, put your foot on the brake, the dash mounted button will glow green, and then just hit it to start. The F-150's electric power-assisted rack and pinion steering has been revised for 2015, making it more responsive and precise compared to its predecessor. The improvements are said to lessen the need for minor corrections at high speeds while improving towing stability. The steering feels lighter than the 2015 Silverado I recently tested, which might be good for some as it's relatively easy to pilot and toss around for a full-size truck. With its drastic decrease in curb weight, lower center of gravity, and revised rear suspension, it's also more nimble and well-behaved than before in terms of ride quality and overall handling. The Platinum's 4-spoke multifunction steering wheel is wrapped in leather with brushed aluminum spokes and grip bolsters at 10 and 2. All F-150s except for the ones equipped with the base non-EcoBoost 3.5-liter V6 feature a 6-speed select shift automatic with progressive range select and tow haul mode. The select shift feature allows you to manually change gears by placing the selector in M and using the plus or minus button. Range select, however, allows you to lock out higher gears. For example, while in drive or D, you can use the plus or minus button not to shift but to tell the truck not to use, say, 5th or 6th gear if you were traveling down a steep grade. Alternatively, you can lock the gearbox in 1st or 2nd by pulling the selector all the way back for use on steep grades or low grip terrain as needed. Tow haul mode raises the shift points, keeping the truck within its power band longer for better performance when transporting heavy loads. When equipped with the EcoBoost engines, the new F-150 also features electronically enhanced sound, which takes the engine note, bolsters it through the audio system for a deeper, more rich note. In addition to a backup camera with adaptive guidance lines, this example also features the optional technology package, which adds a 360-degree camera system, lane keep and assist, and dynamic hitch assist that'll help guide you to your trailer as you back up. Of course, you have all of your four-wheel drive goodies, downhill assist, trailer brake controller, and a variety of locking differential options. So let's go ahead and flip on the automatic quad beam LED headlamps, fog lamps, and the hazards. I also really like these little puddle lamps that you can turn on. They're LED, built into the mirrors, and should help out a lot when working at night. Both front windows are fully automatic and feature laminated glass for better noise isolation. So let's go and check out the exterior. Upon closing the door of the vehicle, sound the horn a couple times to let you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. This year, Ford has completely reinvented the light-duty truck segment by introducing an all-new F-150, one of the highest-selling vehicles in America. It benefits from some of the most advanced construction techniques to ever grace this segment while offering more refined road manners, technology, and luxury than ever before. To anyone following the truck market in recent years, there's been a number of new additions, including the latest generation Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra, as well as updated versions of the Ram 1500 and Toyota Tundra. Nissan even has an all-new Titan coming out later this year. My point is, there's a tremendous amount of choices and fantastic offerings, making the segment more competitive now than it ever has been. One of the best things about our modern truck market is the seemingly endless amount of configurations and options you can specify. The 2015 F-150 is obviously no exception. Offered in 5 trim levels, XL, XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum, there are 3 bed lengths, 5.5 feet, 6.5 feet, and 8 feet, not to mention 3 cab styles, regular, extended super cab, and 4-door super crew. If that's not enough mix and matching to get your head swimming, there's your choice of 2 or 4-wheel drive and even 4 available engines, 2 of which are new, but we'll cover those in just a bit. The biggest news this year is that the F-150's body and bed are now made from aluminum alloy, varying in thickness, grade, and composition based on structural and durability requirements. A revolutionary design tactic in truck construction that makes the F-150 truly stand out from the pack. Aluminum construction is no foreign concept. Even the GM trucks use aluminum for their hood to lessen weight over the front end. But Ford is the first to actually use it to this extreme, making it pretty important as far as engineering is concerned and lessening weight and impacting overall efficiency. I'd even go as far to say it's one of, if not the best looking full-size truck currently for sale. There's so much detail in the bodywork that it makes it appear so much more dynamic and exciting than before, complemented by available LED front and rear lighting and a host of safety features for a modern touch. Aluminum also makes its way throughout the chassis in key areas, but it's not entirely made of the stuff, as steel still represents an important part to any body-on-frame truck. While the aluminum has a number of benefits in its own right, including greater corrosion resistance, much of the steel use has been rethought in the efforts of weight saving. For example, while the fully boxed 8-member ladder frame is still steel, it now incorporates significantly more high-strength steel than before, now making up 77% of the structure versus 23%. This not only sheds up to 60 pounds of weight, but gave the F-150 an added measure of chassis rigidity and durability. Steel is also used in other more subtle areas throughout. By implementing more of these advanced materials, Ford claims as much as 700 pounds has been dropped from the vehicle's weight compared to last year. That, of course, depends on how you equip your truck. Unlike steel, which is traditionally spot welded, the F-150's aluminum components are permanently mated by structural adhesives and rivets, similar processes used in aerospace. Smoother styling, active grille shutters on EcoBoost models, and a 23% improvement in drag lead to greater overall efficiency. Aluminum weighs about a third compared to steel and offers double the strength. That alone makes the biggest difference in how the new truck drives and behaves out on the road. It also opened up the door to increase the truck's capability. Properly equipped, it can now tow 1,100 pounds and haul 533 pounds more than the previous model. Up to 14 different wheel styles are available between the XL and Platinum, the latter of which features a unique set of 20-inch 5-spoke polished aluminum alloys wrapped in 275/55 Hankook all-season tires. It features 4-wheel internally ventilated disc brakes measuring 13.8 inches in front and 13.2 inches in the rear, with twin-piston and single-piston calipers respectively. A setup that's able to bring the F-150 to a stop from 60 miles an hour in about 125 feet. As far as the suspension, up front you'll find an independent coilover shock double wishbone suspension with stamped steel lower control arms, while the rear features a traditional Hotchkiss-type live axle with leaf springs and outboard shock absorbers. While the overall design concept remains the same as last year's F-150, the 2015 model receives updated geometry to improve ride quality and minimize the shakes and shudders common to leaf-sprung trucks. The outboard shock mounts are now staggered in a way that one is placed ahead of the axle and one behind. The pinion and engine have also been aligned in a way that a new one-piece aluminum drive shaft is used versus two-piece units of the past. The F-150 really is one of the smoothest riding trucks I've ever driven, perhaps even a bit smoother than the Silverado I recently tested. I eagerly wait to test out a Ram 1500 with this air-sprung setup, which I imagine would be a significant cut above the rest. The weight savings also leads to a 0.6-inch drop in center of gravity, in addition to numerous chassis reinforcements, making it pretty nimble for what it is. Our 4x4 tester's 9.4 inches of ground clearance is nearly an inch taller than a two-wheel drive model. Approach, breakover, and departure angles come in at 21.1, 18.3, and 23.8 degrees respectively. Maximum towing for our tester is 12,000 pounds, while max payload comes in at 3,050 pounds. Both numbers can be a bit higher if opting for two-wheel drive over four-wheel drive. Our tester also comes with the optional FX4 off-road package, which adds specifically tuned front and rear shock absorbers, an electronic locking rear axle, hill descent control, and skid plates for the fuel tank transfer case and front differential. Dimensions for our short bed 4x4 Super Crew tester include a length of 231.9 inches with a width of 79.9 inches and a height of 77.2 inches. The wheelbase is 145 inches, while curb weight is around 4,925 pounds. Like we touched on earlier, depending on configuration, the F-150 is available with 4 different engines, including a new entry-level naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 and an innovative 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 that promises quite the nice combination of power and economy. The Platinum is available with just 2 of the 4 engines, Ford's 5-liter V8 and 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6. The EcoBoost motor is actually an optional extra over the V8 and develops 33 foot-pounds of additional torque at the expense of 20 horsepower. It's an all-aluminum engine with direct fuel injection, dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, and a compression ratio of 10:1. Induction is force-fed by twin turbocharger, leading to 365 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 420 pound-feet of torque at 2,500 RPM. Good to accelerate from a standstill to 60 miles an hour in a relatively brisk 6.5 seconds. This was actually the first time I had ever driven an EcoBoost F-150, and while I'm a V8 guy at heart, the engine is downright impressive in the performance it yields. It also sounds fantastic with subtle hints of turbo whistle. Ram's EcoDiesel does produce better fuel mileage, but the EcoBoost upgrade only costs a mere $400 over the V8, and recommends the use of regular unleaded, compared to the pricey diesel option, characteristically higher cost of diesel fuel. The truck comes standard with a 23-gallon fuel tank, but an extended range 36-gallon tank is also available. EPA estimates range between 17 miles to a gallon in the city and 23 on the highway for the 4-wheel drive EcoBoost model, averaging around 19 miles to a gallon. One thing I really liked about the new Silverado was that it offered a damp tailgate for soft opening. The 2015 F-150, however, takes things a bit further by adding a remote release, in addition to electronic locking and unlocking for even easier access. The step-up bar grab handle system, which was also offered on the previous F-150, gets a little bit of a redesign. Instead of lying flat on top of the tailgate, it's now built within, which frees up the space for an extra workstation. Don't let the setup process fool you, it's extremely easy to use, and it also has some grippy material on the step if your shoes are slippery. Sure, it takes a few steps to put up, but it's extremely easy to use and far more practical if you're actually holding something in your arm and want to climb up into the truck bed. The bed's inside length of our 5.5-foot tester is 67 inches, width between the wheel houses is 50.6 inches, while height between the floor and the bed rails is 21 inches. Cargo box volume is 52.8 cubic feet. The 6.5-foot bed is 62.3 cubic feet, while the 8-foot bed is 77.4 cubic feet. You'll also find plenty of LED illumination out back for low light working, a power sliding rear window, and a ton of handy cargo tie-downs. Inside, the new F-150 Platinum offers one of the most luxurious and comfortable interiors of the entire full-size truck segment. It offers plenty of unique touches, including genuine wood trim, brushed aluminum across the doors, dash, center console, unique patterns to the seats, high-grade leather upholstery, and subtle chrome detailing. There's even a lot more padded material in general just added overall for a much more premium feel. Across the door panels, the armrest and upper portions are wrapped in the soft touch material. Your power windows, locks, mirrors, and power folding mirrors are located on the door with 3-person memory, not to mention a ton of storage located down below. As far as the seating, both the driver and passenger feature full power adjustments with 4-way power lumbar and active massage features in the Platinum model. They're heated and ventilated and feature perforated leather across the midsections to keep everything nice and airy. As far as climbing in, it's not too bad. There's a grip handle on the B-pillars to aid entry and exit, and the seats are really comfortable. The seat controls are pretty self-explanatory, nothing too complicated about them. I love the tall seating position as well. It gives you a very commanding view over the outside. There's a lot of good visibility around with plenty of glass forward and rear. The seats are very comfortable. They have good amount of padding up top and down below, excellent support, and lateral support. I also love the added detailing with the piping, color accent striping, stitching, and the Platinum tags on the backrest. The seat belts and headrests are fully adjustable. Continuing on down below, you have a unique Platinum aluminum door sill entry guard, logoed floor mats, and a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. The bottom portion of the dash, in addition to housing your lighting controls, also has power pedal adjustment. The dash is entirely wrapped out of stitched padded material, again for an extra premium touch. The way I understand it, the Platinum also has extra sound deadening, making it the quietest F-150 I've ever driven.
So let's go ahead and see if she sounds. So let's go ahead and shut her up.
Inside, the Platinum features a standard premium 10-speaker Sony surround sound system with a built-in subwoofer, not to mention Ford's My Ford Touch infotainment system composed of an LCD touchscreen mounted in the center of the dash. Navigation is standard along with Bluetooth telephone, Sirius XM satellite radio, HD radio, and so much more. Continuing up, you have your grip handles, side curtain airbags, and padded visors with 3-position garage homelink off to the right. There's also illuminated vanity mirrors. Your rearview mirror is auto-dimming. And in the top stack, it houses things like your sunglass storage up top, LED illumination and reading lamps, hands-free Bluetooth microphones, the controls for the power sliding rear window, not to mention your fully automatic sunroof, sunshade, reading lamps up front. Window deflector automatically pops up. I love this option. It's definitely something that the Silverado and Ram 1500 doesn't have. It lets so much light into the interior. When going back, it will stop halfway if you just want the upper passengers to have the light, but press it once more and it comes back to full length. The upper portion of the dash is entirely wrapped in a soft touch material and also has stitched accenting. In the middle, you'll find a convenient storage tray. I also really like the texture of the radio and climate control dials. They have a knurled aluminum type pattern for a little bit of a higher quality feel. In the very bottom, you have a standard dual zone electronic automatic climate control system with temperature on either side, front and rear defrost, different zones, AC, one-touch automatic, fan speed in the bottom. The front occupants feature 3-stage heated and ventilated seating, while the rear passengers get heated seats. At the leading edge of the center console, there's a little storage cubby that's also illuminated, houses a 12-volt power outlet and your media inputs. There's an auxiliary, 2 USB, and an SD card slot for the navigation system. Like we touched on earlier, one of my favorite interior aspects of the Platinum is the genuine wood trim across the doors, center console, not to mention the brushed aluminum across the center stack, steering wheel, and the majority portion of the center console. It really gives the interior such an upscale and modern feeling overall. There are storage cubbies to either side, your trailer brake controller. Off to the far right, there's a 12-volt power outlet and a 110-volt household AC outlet. Another small tray, probably for just pencils and pens, and 2 cup holders off to the right. Of course, the center console is entirely wrapped in leather with the contrasting band and accent stitching. It opens up into a tremendous amount of space. There's a removable storage tray here that actually has spots for change storage. Another 12-volt power outlet and just a cavernous amount of space. There's definitely no shortage of cup holders either. In addition to these rear console mounted cup holders, there are 2 more in the backseat armrest, which I'll show later. As far as the steering wheel, on the right hand side you have your radio controls, hands-free telephone, and voice commands.
Please say a command.
Off to the left-hand side, you have the controls that correspond to your driver information system, not to mention your cruise control and adaptive cruise features. Speaking of driver information system, the Platinum features a unique instrument cluster. You still have your tachometer and speedometer, but in the middle there's a configurable TFT digital display. You can use those driver information controls to go left and right between the different main menus, up and down to go between the different sub-menus, and of course the OK button to select something. Alrighty. You'll also notice, when powering down the vehicle, the driver's seat comes back and the steering wheel tilts up to an easy exit position. When you start it back up, the seat automatically goes back to your memory setting, as does the steering wheel.
So let's go ahead and check out the back seat.
So we've talked a bunch so far of the improvements and everything to the F-150's interior to really make it the nicest F-150 ever. I mean, especially in the Platinum trim, this thing is downright luxurious. And especially when you're sitting in the back seat, it just goes to show you how much bigger trucks have gotten in the last 10-15 years. I have an 03 Chevrolet Avalanche, which for its day was huge because it was based on a Suburban chassis. But this, I mean, just being a regular half-ton pickup, there is so much legroom back here. It makes my Avalanche feel small, which is a great thing for the F-150. I mean, with a comfortable seating position for myself for up front, I probably have a foot of leg space. It's enormous. And there's no drivetrain hump right here, so you can stretch out, you can kick back and relax, whatever you want. It's amazing, especially for taller people. Headroom, let's see, I'm about 5'10". I think I have about 2.5 or so inches roughly. I also really like this panoramic glass roof. I don't know of any other full-size trucks that have this. I know the Silverado, I know the Ram 1500 doesn't have it. I know the Titan doesn't either, or at least the current generation one. So this is a nice class exclusive feature, and it just adds to the overall luxuriousness, the natural light coming in. It's a very nice environment. Of course, LED illumination everywhere, reading lamps up top, grip handles, coat hooks. The seats are also really rather comfortable. The leather is nice, high quality. The same detailing up front also transfers back here, so you have the piped accents, the perforations across the midsection, and the Platinum badges on the backrest. There are 3 headrests back here, which is nice. They are adjustable, so you can sit a third person right here in the same amount of comfort that you would in any of the outboard seats, which is nice. Even 3 full-size adults, no issues with the shoulder room or anything like that, just because it's a pretty broad cabin. As far as the middle portion, though, you do have a padded leather armrest if you choose to pull it down, and there's 2 additional cup holders here in addition to the ones at the back of the console like I showed you earlier. Speaking of the console, there's 2 large air vents down below here to keep everything nice and ventilated. And just like the front center stacking console, this trim piece right here is also finished in genuine brushed aluminum. So you get a little bit of that extra refined material back here as well. There's 2 stage heated seats for both of the outer seats. There's another AC household outlet, not to mention a 12-volt like regular automotive power outlet. The sliding window right here is a window defroster. Of course, side curtain airbags all the way around. And these seat belts are a pretty innovative little feature. They actually are inflatable belts. So there is an airbag built into this section of the seat belt. So in the event of an accident, it will prevent like the seat belt, I believe, from like cutting into you or causing a bruise or try to lessen the impact of it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, all these higher spec trucks this day and age are just super nice, but Ford has definitely gone a little bit the extra mile with adding so many genuine appointments and stuff, making it feel a lot more tailored. Fantastic job. Another common feature in this class are the fold-up rear seats, which are pretty ergonomically designed, very easy to use, and the seats don't weigh a whole lot, so you can do it with one hand. They lock in place and really allow for a ton more storage space, so you don't always have to put larger items into the truck bed. But that's about it, so let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle.
The passenger seat features the same power lumbar massage adjustments that you find on the driver's seat. Like you saw on the driver's side, there's another small storage pocket on the passenger side of the console. Down towards the bottom, there's a little bit of extra wood with a small storage tray and a modest glove box. It is locking, damped, so it opens nice and slowly, and it's a two-tier design. A felt-lined storage tray up top and a little bit of extra space down below.
The F-150 offers a lot of choice for consumers to individually tailor it to suit their exact needs. With improved ride quality, refined handling, and plenty of performance, it drives a lot better than before. Coupled with an upscale interior and plenty of optional extras, the new F-150 offers a fantastic combination of utility and luxury.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the all-new 2015 Ford F-150 Platinum. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.